Philadelphia. Reaching over to sit at his locker, Jalen Hurts leaned forward to put himself eye level with Saquon Barkley. After every game, win or lose, the quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles usually has a personal visit with most of his teammates. It was the first time Barkley and Hurts had talked after a defeat. A heartbreaking 22-21 setback to the Atlanta Falcons on Monday Night Football, since they had concluded their second game together. Following the game, Barkley said, "He said he's going to trust me every time in that situation." 3rd and 3, with the Eagles leading 18-15 from the Atlanta 10-yard line, was the situation at hand. At 1:46 to go, Atlanta was out of timeouts. Either way, the Eagles could kneel out the time with a first down conversion. It would have been a two-possession game with a touchdown. The ball ended up on the ground instead. Kellen Moore, the offensive coordinator, called for a pass play, and at first glance, it seemed to be a smart move. As he took the snap under center, Hurts faced the defenders. Barkley ran right, obviously having the advantage for a first down and maybe a score. The running back's fingers caught the ball that the quarterback tossed to him as he was striding forward. He clenched his hands together, hoping to somehow gain possession, but to no effect as the ball hovered over them. Everything Eagles related, the most recent information on injuries, schedule, roster, statistics, and other team news. Barkley said, "Make that catch, and the game is over." The timer came to an end. The Atlanta offense seemed to be pouring water through a crack as it marched down the field. It took the Falcons 6 plays, 70 yards, and 65 seconds to take the lead. The Falcons won their first game under head coach Raheem Morris when Kirk Cousins found Drake London for the game-tying score. Younghoku's 48-yard extra point was good, and Hurts intercepted the ball on the following final-minute drive. Barkley said, "The game comes down to a few plays. Making the mistake on that play hurts more." Hurts said, "It's a tough loss, obviously. It teaches us something. We will benefit because I have complete faith in him to perform like everyone else, every day of the week." Nick Sirianni, the head coach, was unwilling to assign responsibility for Barkley's decline. "There is never a single play. That play is never the only one," he said. "Every play determines whether we win or lose." On 4th and 3, Sirianni wondered whether he ought to have gone for the first down once again, given that the Eagles had scored in a similar situation earlier in the game. But he said that he intended to increase by 6 points. "It was evidently ineffective in that situation," Sirianni said. "I will undoubtedly question myself in those situations when it doesn't. This is the head coaching position, and that's why I'm here if anything doesn't work out. Whether it succeeds or fails, I have to be prepared for the fallout." Moore will need to provide clarification on why the ball was passed in that particular scenario. "Once again, we can't just be too dependable and declare that on every 3rd and 3, if you're in 4-down mode, you're going to run the ball. In this league, that's not practical," Sirianni said. Hurts had no issues with what Moore had told him prior to conveying it to the huddle. "It has nothing to do with expectations." Hurts said, "It's simply a matter of executing what's called, and we came up short in that moment." Sirianni cited the Falcons' defensive line junking it up in the interior for the play call. The Eagles sought to close the game by attacking the perimeter. Jake Elliott's field goal seemed sufficient. Sirianni said, "I wanted them to be down a touchdown and see if they could drive the field, and they did." Be careful with your wishes. Hurts had 34 seconds, plus 2 timeouts, left to get Philadelphia into field goal range. Elliott has scored a number of crucial field goals in his career, so not all was lost for the Eagles. Hurts' last pass of the game, intended for wide receiver Devonta Smith, was slipped under by Falcons safety Jesse Bates III to cap the stunning comeback. 4 minutes after the start in real time at 8:19 p.m. ET, came the first jeer from the crowd. When the teams shook hands on the field with zeros on the clock on the night, the organization celebrated Super Bowl 52 MVP Nick Foles. Those who were still at Lincoln Financial Field gave the squad a tough time. Naturally, wide receiver A.J. Brown was not available for the Eagles, and he could miss the next several games. Moore may also explain why, after Barkley's 40-yard run in the first quarter, he stopped giving him the ball on handoffs. For the most of the game, Hurts seemed uninterested in passing the ball. Instead, he was satisfied to vacate the pocket and scramble. However, in order to produce plays like that on the most important play of the game, the star quarterback had to establish a connection with the team's off-season free agent acquisition. According to ESPN, Barkley has been dropped 16 times since the 2021 season began, which is the highest among running backs. Hurts and Barkley both said that during their first summer together, they had worked the play a lot. On a play identical to this one earlier in the fourth quarter, Barkley came dangerously close to scoring, but a video showed his knee was down just inches before the ball crossed the goal line. Furthermore, he was aware that the inquiries he responded to at his locker after Hurts' departure were entirely his own. Barkley said, "I could be a professional athlete, go back to the drawing board, take the lick, move on, and get better from it. Or I could complain and be upset about it.